So I'm just popping into the kitchen, and Margot and Stephen have been painting the big cabinet in the kitchen. And this is the first coat of the final color, which was a little difficult for me to translate from French to English when they explained that to me. But here we go. So it's looking really good. And they're now working on the doors, as you can see. So it's all coming together. The interior, as you note, is not painted. We're actually going to leave that unpainted on the inside. I kind of like the raw wood finish. And if down the road we change our minds, it can always get painted later, which means it will never get painted. But we are painting both sides of the doors. So when you open the door, the inside of the door will have a finished painted look. All right, I just came in from the big kitchen where Stephen and Margot are painting to discover Ben, and he was singing along with some music.
Dire Straits.
Dire Straits.
The best.
And he's working on painting in here. This is the second coat, I take it.
Yep.
So that's nice. There you go. Painting the famous X's.
It's so counterintuitive. It is. You have to relearn motor memory. But yeah, so
You're like very precise in your Xing, but
That's all, folks.
when I do it, I'm a little maybe sloppier, but I just do it in one motion, like a figure eight.
Do we want slightly more haphazard?
You should not change it now. But that is what he means when he says paints and X's. Like you just kind of go in like you're conducting an orchestra. The idea is not to have like long streaks of paint in one direction. Right. But yeah, you can. You should continue with this as you've been doing.
This is what it looks like, and I think it's fine.
Yeah, no, it looks great, yeah. And it will smooth out over time even more. Like, yeah, if you look at it more towards the edge, you see the texture of it. But as it dries more.
It's defined on here because this is plasterboard, so the Verge didn't get put on that. It doesn't look so. But for the rest,
it's looking really good. So we got for free these old crates for, do you know what they were for?
I'm not sure what they were.
I think garlic. I think they were for garlic. So we got these crates. They were free. They were for like transporting garlic, and apparently they're not so hard to get. And they were taller. And so Hugh has cut it down, and he's putting this hessian in, or burlap, in them to line them. And we're going to use them as raised planting beds. But he took some of the wood and he fashioned this little lip on the top and to kind of finish it off. And it kind of came out really nice. And so we're going to have this will be our first year.
Yes.
With a few bit of vegetable garden things going on.
Absolutely.
Here. And it will be in this spot that we're in right now, which is the side of the chateau.
Yes.
So it's a little corner area. Straight through to the back, it goes to the back terrace. But we get a lot of nice, as you can tell right now, we get a lot of nice sun here. We're checking out why is Hugh on top of a tower in the backyard.
I've been asking myself that question all morning.
What's going on up there, Hugh?
Well, we're cutting back these trees, taking the tops off, and trying to train them so they grow horizontally across into each other eventually to create a shade for a seated area down here. And so it's a long process. You just got to try and pick the right branches to cut off and train in the right direction.
I see the one on the left you've already done.
Yes.
He looks very chopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna see what happens this spring.
Yeah, exactly.
And summer. All right. So how many years will it be before we get them to kind of connect to each other?
Oh, another couple of years, I think. Some of these side ones are, as you can see, they're not too far off being able to reach. So maybe another year or two.
So it's these trees that we're trying to create a canopy over. Because this back terrace that I'm on now is lovely right now in the sun, but in the summer it can be a little bright and hot out here. And also now that we've got the gravel down, it probably even a little more reflective and bright. So here we have the little side yard area, and he's been working out here a lot. He has cut down these crates. These crates were designed for transporting garlic, and we're in a garlic growing region, so they're very common. And Ev had an in on getting a bunch of them for free. So, but they were taller, so Hugh cut them down, and he put that top edge around them to kind of give them a nice finish. And we're setting them up as planting beds. And he thought he would also build a little path here, because we didn't gravel this side of the yard yet. Eventually, this will get the same gravel as we have here on the back terrace. I'm just around the corner from the back terrace. However, next year, we have a lot of digging work to do in here. And if you remember from 2 years ago now, we did all the evacuation pipelines, and they're all running under here. But when we start working on this side of the house, which is where we're currently living, here's the side on the right, we're going to have more evacuation lines we need to tie into the system. So this is going to have to get dug up some more. So Ben is working here in the library.
Just to be close to him, in case.
So he moved his operation here just to be close to Hugh so he can help out. And how's it coming? Removing the...
He did a good job. Didn't need to take all of it off because some of it's fairly okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what are you doing?
Putty.
So whoever puttied this door last didn't do a great job.
They just sort of like thumbed it in and then left it. No smoothing, nothing.
All right, so he was removing the putty, and there was some debate whether did all the glass survive, or did you have to replace some?
No, it was good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So he used the old heat gun trick to heat up the old putty, and then it still there's a little work to get it out, but it does ease it up a little bit.
Slice it.
Yeah. So, and this is the door to the scullery from the petite entrée.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the inside.
The inside.
So this will be China blue bed.
Excellent. There are 5 different colors of China blue. It's the worst naming convention because there's China blue faint, China blue pale, China blue mid,
and then just China blue.
China blue, and I think there's one more. Maybe not. I don't know. And they're all little variations of China blue, but we keep getting confused because we're using like 3 of them, I think. Ben is in the library working on the scullery door. Here we are in the butler's pantry. We've been debating our color in here. And we may make some changes. I love this blue, but there is a lot of it. And I'm feeling like there's maybe too much blue. The big cabinet is been primed, but not painted. The left side of it's been painted, but the front of this here is primed. So it's ready. This was Kelly Green, if you remember. So a big change. And honestly, it looks really fresh and a little more modern. Just a little bit newer. It just doesn't look I think it looks less shabby. That's what I'm getting to. You can see that the woodwork is a lighter color than the top wall color above. And we're just feeling that the contrast is very slight between those 2 colors. In the daylight, like right now, it's more evident. And in the evenings, it just sort of blends into one. So we're thinking of either darkening the wall color or lightening the woodwork color. which is why we paused painting the big cabinet, because this is going to be the same as the woodwork color. And, well, we'll see. There's a little bit of a debate on that. Sylvain has put in the lambris or beadboard running down the stairs. That's going to get painted out. And there's just a little bit more work to do because there's a light fixture that's going to be hanging from it. So you can see on the left edge isn't quite clean and finished yet. There's a molding piece that's going to go there, but it's also going to hide the cord for the lighting fixture. But the staircase got nicely sanded and it's looking really good. And you can see here, there is an outline in masking tape, the sort of standard masking tape. And that is a cabinet that we found online that I think we're gonna go look at this weekend, that we're gonna put there and that we're gonna put a sink in it. There'll be a sink there and a little bit of a counter space there. Somewhat cozy in here. I think Ben has been keeping the fire going. I meant to get up earlier this morning and because it cools down in the evening and it's easier to work with and clean the glass, but I didn't get up early this morning. Okay. This is the other cabinet in the kitchen. It's all painted. This is pretty much done. We're looking at hardware to add to it, some kind of handles or pulls to make it more practical to use. And this has actually been a real challenge to figure out what to do. So we bought a few things that we're experimenting with and we'll see where that goes. I'm not 100% sure yet. You can see the marble countertop is in and looking rather fabulous. I'm very, very happy about it, except for the very dead bug. Okay, now I'm happy with it. There's a dead fly there. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, now I'm happy with it. So this actually came out really well. There was a little challenge when they came to install it. They had pre-cut the backsplash pieces and they didn't quite fit right between the countertop when it got installed and the tile, which we had already put in place. So they were doing their best to really try and make it fit and look good. It just wasn't quite coming together. So in the end, they actually took those pieces back to the shop and Mark came up with a solution. This corner right here, there's a lot of angles going on because the side of the sort of window well here isn't a 90-degree angle. So this in here is not a 90-degree angle. It's a little bit wider. And then we have the angle coming down along the tile. And then it's got to meet this backsplash. It all just was a little off and not quite fitting 100%. So Mark came up with the idea. This piece in the back was also just a hair bit short. So he said, look, make a little ledge here. And I'll take us up right here. Cut this down, cut this back piece down just a little bit more. And then put that little ledge along the top. And in the end, I actually think that gave it a really nice finish and a nice transition between the backsplash and the tile of the wall under the window. If we look at it, I'm gonna come up a little bit higher. You see a little bit more of that edge there. So, and actually and in the end, it kind of came out, I think, really nice and has a really nice finish. We could have taken that marble all the way up to the window. I think Mark felt it was just too much marble at that stage. So we kind of, went with this. I think in the end, this is it's looking really great. So we're actually very happy with the way it came out in the end. It just took a little bit longer because they had to go back to the shop, recut these pieces, and then come back and fit them back in. But very happy with the way it ended up. There is, you'll notice, a little gap here on the right, and that's okay. We're gonna put a little trim piece of marble there that will close in that gap and help fill that in, and then that will be that part of it, and that will be done. This sink is primarily used for, light washing and things like vegetables and stuff like that, because, as you know, right through this doorway is the scullery, and under that yellow blanket is the big stainless steel scullery sink, and that's where the heavy-duty dishwashing and stuff can happen. I'm also going to point out, there's been a lot of debate about outlets and switches. And we love these Fontini outlets. And they are beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful, and they're fabulously expensive. But they look really, really great here. And so what we've decided to do is we're going to use these in our main principal rooms, and we're using them here in the kitchen. We consider this a principal room of the house. And they against this tile wall, they really look fabulous. And in the rest of the house, we'll maybe use something else, and then maybe over time we can, buy some more and replace some in the future. There's a little bit of tile work. You can see the wall tile on the left there. That needs to be finished. We were waiting to get the countertops installed before all that gets done. So the tile will continue down that wall and under the countertop there. I don't know why we're not closing the cabinets. There is no reason why they shouldn't close all the way. I probably should have just made sure, that there was no cat in there, because Ruby likes to sleep on that little pile of blankets there. And finally in here, I want to point out the crest above the chimney. Yes, I need to get to clean it. I keep saying, I'm going to clean this. I'm going to get up on the ladder and clean this. And I will. We bought this at auction. It's made out of plaster. It's very heavy. It's also very delicate. And it was listed as an older form of the crest of the Republic of France. But we had some neighbors in here, and one of them immediately looked at it and said, that is not Republic. And it kind of so obviously is obvious now, but he says a Republic crest won't have a crown on the top of it. Then I pointed out, very clever to warm your putty on top of the stove there. We feel that this is not a crest of the Republic. And it's some other crest, some kind of royal crest from either the Empire, the Second Empire, or it could be a little bit older. It has been suggested that this seems very northern with the lions and the fleur-de-lis. And the center part of it, the center oval, has 3 fleur-de-lis. And then, of course, there are the 2 lions on either side. I have seen this lion motif on crests in this region. And in fact, the Count who built this chateau, the 19th century chateau, is the Count de Puy. And his crest has lions kind of in that pose. You do see the lion motif here, but apparently it is a motif more from the north. So if anyone else has any ideas about what this is a crest of, we'd love to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed our look at some of the colors going on here in what we call the service wing of the chateau. This includes the laundry room, the back kitchen, the scullery, the kitchen, the main kitchen, and the butler's pantry. So all of this we've been working on at the same time, and so it's just all inching forward together, but it really is like, these rooms are really taking shape and looking what they ultimately will look like. So it's really great to feel them getting just about there. If you have any ideas about our crest, we obviously need to do some more research, but if anyone has any thoughts or ideas or they know something about it, we would love to hear from you. And of course, we always love hearing your comments no matter what, so please let us know what you're thinking. A very special thank you to our patrons, whose contributions go directly towards the refurbishment and renovation of the chateau. And to all of our viewers, thank you so much for your support. I'm Philip, here at Château Avensac. Ruby, what? Okay, let's let Boston in. Hi, Boston.